Norway in their golden generation is a question we're going to be answering today, after they seem to have had a flawless international break really. In the last game, of course, beating Moldova. Yes, of course, only Moldova. Beat them 11-1. Haaland and Asgard with hat-tricks. Yeah, they look incredible at the moment, and we're just gonna take a look at Norway, see how they've been doing, the past couple of years in their matches, and is the golden generation just around the corner for them. But before we get into it, guys, do feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Would be massively appreciative. But without further ado, let's get into it. So, Norway have been pretty good the last few years, and the stats back that up as well. In the last 28 international games, they've only lost 6 of them. They are a very consistent side, and they're hugely unlucky not to qualify for Euro 2024. They finished third in a group behind a very strong Spain and Scotland side. Scotland actually did very decent in the qualifiers, but then fucked it up in the when it came to the actual tournament. That's typical Scotland. But so they felt pretty hard done by not to qualify for the last Euros. And Norway, usually it's not been a team blessed with many talents. They only qualified for Euros on one occasion in 2000, and the last World Cup they qualified for was 2 years prior in 1998, where they actually got through the group and into the knockouts following 2 draws against Morocco and Scotland in the group, and a very famous win against Brazil, who were actually runners-up of that tournament. But unfortunately, their journey came to an end in round 16, losing 1-0 to Italy thanks to a goal from striker Christian Vieri. But since then, they've not tasted World Cup, qualification until now. It seems they're on the brink of qualifying for the World Cup. They've won 5 out of 5 games in the qualifiers so far, sitting top of the table on 15 points, and they have a pretty substantial goal difference to the team closest to them, in second place, Italy, following that 11-1 win over Moldova. Italy have a +5 goal difference, and Norway have a +21. So, unless we see a generational Norway collapse, I'm sure they will be at the World Cup next summer, and it'll be brilliant to see. And yeah, like literally, if we take a look at at some of the players they have, it's a pretty darn good squad. Let's go and have a look, boys. So looking at the Norway squad, one thing to point out is that only 5 players in that squad represent teams from their own nation. So for England, we say it's good for teams to represent. It's good for players to represent teams from that country. But with other countries, I think it's better to have more players represented for teams across all different leagues, because the English leagues are probably still the most quality league. And you've got quite a few players who do play in England. 9 players in that squad play for teams in England. Obviously, you've got the more sort of notable ones. So your Erling Haaland, he's just a monster up front. He's going to literally carry Norway to the World Cup. You've got Jørgen Strand Larsen, and then in midfield you've got Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard, and Simon Berger for Fulham. At the back, you've got Christopher Ayer of Brentford. And then going into Championship as well, you've got the likes of striker and Hagebo, who's just signed for West Brom this summer. You've got the Watford goalkeeper, Igor Selvik in there. I'm just trying to think. You've got David Wolf, who it's crazy. He literally plays for Wolves. Shot Cora there. But he's just signed for Wolves this summer. Let's have a look. Is there anybody else that I've missed who've played for? You've got Oscar Bob, of course, who plays for Manchester City, but I believe that is it. So yeah, it's a very talented squad, as I said already. Got a lot of good players in there. And another player is Alexander Sorloth. we all thought he was finished in his time at Palace, where he didn't do a lot. But since leaving Palace, he has scored a total of 118 goals in 6 years, which is not a bad return. He's doing very well at the moment in Spain, where he's played his football in the last few years for 3 different Spanish clubs, like Real Sociedad, Villarreal, and now Atletico Madrid, where he's done very, very well. I think he scored like 30 plus goals for Atletico Madrid last season in all competitions, which is not bad at all. You got Leo Ostigard at the back, the former Napoli defender. So yeah, I mean, it's unreal, literally. So our Norway in their golden generation, I think we've got a very decent squad. I think it could challenge at the World Cup next year. And I think this is just an interesting way to maybe take a look at some international teams. If you've got any other suggestions of international teams for me to look at, then do let me know, because I'm sure there are a lot of teams that are in their golden generation. Norway is one of them. It's a big year for Norway next year. They're pretty much almost there. If they don't bottle it, we will be there in the World Cup, and hopefully we can do very well. We've got a great squad, and the future's bright for Norway. I'm excited to see what Norway can do. Roll on 2026 for Norway, hopefully. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. Norway got such a good squad. It's actually underrated, so I thought I'd do a video on it. If you did enjoy, do feel free to leave a like as always. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one very soon, guys. Take care and goodbye.